Perfect. Right. So what I wanted to just sort of say, it's interesting because a lot of people think now, most of the time, is that imposter syndrome really happens just with women. We know 70% of women will experience it at some point in their life, but men experience imposter syndrome too. And for anybody that doesn't know, imposter syndrome is really about you not being able to value what you experience. So you kind of feel a fraud, even though you know you're perfectly capable, you're perfectly able to do things, but there's still this feeling that you are. And we're going to talk about mainly imposter syndrome and how it affects relationships, but imposter syndrome can affect every part of your life. And maybe a little later on, we'll speak into why maybe it seems to be different from men. And perhaps from your own personal experience, you can kind of allude to that anyway. So tell us more about imposter syndrome and how you've experienced it.
So essentially, for a quick backstory, I had a bunch of strokes 16 years ago, was out completely near death, basically, had to completely restructure my brain through neuroplasticity. So I became, as a necessity, very interested in brains, and I had always had a psychological bent, but I started consuming any information that would help me repair my brain. And I mean, changing foods and all sorts of habits. So to run my day, I engage in about 55 specific behaviors which are planned and executed without internal conversation, without delay. It just gets done. I've forgotten the question now.
Well, we're just speaking into imposter syndrome and how
I see.
How you became more aware of it.
Yes. So reading these psychological books and reading, philosophy and stuff like that, I started to see. So I can see my thoughts. I see my thinking. And so because I can watch it, if I read something in a book, so I am also, there's a thing called the Cartman drama triangle. I'm a rescuer. Now, someone just mentioned that to me in the gym, because I talk in the gym. I came back, looked at it, went, oh, yep, that's me. That explains why the last relationship I had went horribly wrong, because I was a fixer, a rescuer. And it's not my place to rescue other people. Maybe if they ask, possibly, but otherwise. So I was writing a book at the time, and I'm writing down what's inside my head, and I'm writing down what's happening. It's like a journal, really, of volunteer work I did after my strokes, and looking at my psychology, looking at belief systems, looking at how brain waves, sleep, diet, exercise, all these things make such a difference. I'm coming from a splint on my right leg, walking with a walking ball, tripping and falling regularly because my foot didn't work, and all of that was going on. And that's basically how I got to find out about my psychology in general. And so when I started connecting with people and I heard the term imposter syndrome, I went, that's interesting, because I think my everyday life, I have a bloody good time. I really enjoy just the way I am. I certainly appear to others to be confident. I always say what I think is true, even if it makes me unpopular. I mean, not in a nasty way, but, I try to be true with people. And I saw the term imposter syndrome, and I went, that the one area in life is relationships, even fundamental sexual urges I don't engage in. So I'm not hideous. I mean, I am unconventionally attractive, I've gone on you, but so I could, if I threw myself into with the same gusto into I have no doubt I would succeed.
Yeah, yeah. And it is so strange that there is this situation where you know that you are amazingly competent, you know that you can enjoy life, and you know that you are crazy in lots of different ways, quirky, let's say, but neurodivergent means that you have this really beautiful ability to see multiple dimensions. Literally, you can see your thinking, which is pretty amazing. You have this capacity. So yeah, and yet, one of the things which we talked about is that imposter syndrome really affects, one is performance, it affects relationships, and it affects, our health and well-being. And as a human being, we will have situations that will affect maybe just one particular area where we will be really exceptional. And then those other two areas don't tend to be as highly evolved or as highly, let's say, open and freer in the essence of how it is. And one of the things that you were saying here, if I went into my relationship with the gusto, the gusto at which I sort out a parking fine, or the gusto where you go and see people and I know you just love talking and love being with people, and yet there's something about a relationship. So tell me, is a relationship something you want? Is it something you really want?
Just a quick back step to I love being with people.